For today's 3-hour course, as requested by some of my producer Launchpad students, we are going to be making a banging rhythm track like HOL, Subtronics, Infect. This is the track we're going to be making. As always, you can grab this entire project for free down below in the description. And by doing so, you'll also get exclusive access to our EDMProd Mastermind community, bi-weekly feedback sessions. There's a bunch more free samples and presets in there, other project files too, and exclusive videos, bunch of awesome stuff. So go grab the project. And with that, let's hop into today's course. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is set up our project so it's at the right tempo and we've got our song structure dialed in. This is super important and many producers overlook this step because it's going to save you so many headaches down the line. So first thing we need to know is rhythm is at that 140 BPM range. Some tracks go up to 145, but they tend to be a bit slower than the more modern tear out dubstep stuff. Let's go 140 for this track. Now we're also going to bring in a reference track to get an idea for the song structure we want. This track here, Shut Up by Rack, is a really solid rhythm example. So I'm going to bring this into a new audio track here, which I've labeled reference. And what we're going to do is use this blank structure MIDI track to map out some blank MIDI clips for the structure basically. So what we want to do is make sure the timing of this track is aligned to our host tempo. Now, I do know this track, when I got it off Beatport, was at 145. So what I'm going to do here is just warp our reference track on complex mode. I'm going to pitch it up a couple of semitones just for copyright purposes. I'm not really going to be listening to it throughout this course. We're just going to put in the original tempo of the sample or the track there, which, as I said, is 145. So now that I know that, it should maybe align, but it often always doesn't. So what I do here is I'll just kind of look where the drop starts, which is this little beat here. And I'm just going to kind of align that to the next available bar. I'm going to put this on the one here. So we have to zoom in to make sure that first kick drum is right on the beat. We're going to play it for a bit as well, just to make sure it is actually synced to our host tempo. So it's going to play the bigger part of the drop here. Sounds good. I'm just going to turn the volume down so we can make sure the metronome is coming through. Skip through the track. Yeah, that's all good. Cool, we got that dialed in now. What we can do here is I'm actually just going to Shift Command Delete the first part of this track because it's just a bar of silence really. And then this is gonna be our like two little bar. We call this an anacrusis / sweep in. So this is like a little 2-bar section before the main section starts, right? I'm gonna color that sort of a nice light gray there to denote that. But the main intro starts here. Now, when you've got these 2-bar offsets at certain sections in the track, what you can do, as one student pointed out in one of my recent courses actually, is you can add a time signature change here, right? You can actually name it intro. And what that is going to do, it doesn't actually put the name in, but this is going to highlight your background colors in Ableton. I don't know if this is a feature in other DAWs, the same as it would be as if this was the start point 1, right? So you can see here, we've got 8-bar increments, or sorry, 4 bars actually in this case. And those colors line up, which is cool. And same when you zoom out as well. So we've got 16 bars here, 16 bars here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to break this up into increments of 8 because that tends to be the main phrase length in rhythm. We're going to call this intro. I'm going to call this intro ambience because it's kind of not that many drums in here. We can color it like a nice sort of light blue, I reckon. Now, because rhythm has like a lot of delay on the sounds, it sounds like the metronome is off, but it's actually not. It's just the section. We're going to go here to a build section, build synths, because I think the synths come in here by themselves. So we haven't got the full drums in yet. I'm going to color this a nice orange. Here I'm going to call this build drums, because the drums actually come in here, which is pretty cool. We can use that idea for our own. And then here we've got the drop starting, and we're going to color this sort of a nice, more ready sort of color. I'm going to call this drop 1A, and I'm going to say like silent pre-drop 4 bars, because it's like a 4-bar section here. Before the main drop actually starts. I'm going to call this false drop, actually, just to get better terminology. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to call this drop 1B. And we're going to get rid of all the other text in there. I'm not necessarily going to label all of them super accurately. I'm just going to say 1B. Then we've got 1C. Okay, that's interesting. So it's actually probably more accurate to put this false drop 4 bars here as its own section. Boom. We're then going to call this drop 1A. This is where this is really handy because you can figure these things out. Because we've got like sort of another build here, right? And I'm going to call this build drums. I'm better than you and I'm better than your friends. Cool. This is drop B now. So we've still got the same thing here with that first 4 bars being different. And what I'm going to do is, because it's drop B in this case, I'm going to color it like purple or maybe even like a pink or something. Yeah, why not? And then we're going to call this 2A. Boom. And we're going to call this one 2B. And then we've just got a simple outro. We're going to use the blue color for that as well. Outro ambience, and then like sort of final impact for like the end, and then we'll just do it for those kind of 4 bars there. Cool. That is our structure all mapped out now. Now what we can do is boom, delete our reference track. We're just going to go off this rough structure because, again, we don't really need to listen back and forth all the time. You're more than welcome to bring it in for mixdown purposes, for just ideas for your track, but I'm going to kind of just go off on my own at this point. And now that our project is all set up with the things we need in it, I'm going to turn to the drums now. Really quick before I do that, I'm just going to add in another time signature change here on the false drop. We're also going to do one when the drop actually starts. And we're going to do the same for drop B, right? Just because this 4-bar thing can throw our grid lines out. And so that will fix it up. Now everything should line up, which is pretty helpful. We don't need any others. And let's do drums. Okay, so we're going to start at drop 1A for the drums. Now I'm going to bring in a new audio channel. We're going to call this one kick. We're probably going to color it like a nice deep orange here. I'm going to group it just preemptively here because I know I'm going to be doing some group processing on all my drums. I like to use all caps for my groups and main channels in the track. Just helps me distinguish things a little nicer. And for dubstep or rhythm drums, should I say, we have our classic 2-step pattern where we have a kick on the 1 and 3 and a snare, or in this case, more of a clappy snare on the 2 and 4. The difference is though with rhythm is you actually put a kick on the 4, the 2 and 4 as well. It just tends to be either clipped or sort of a bit quieter in the background. And that's what really creates that massive whack in rhythm, right? I'm going to go to some of these samples I've selected here, and we're going to find a nice kick drum to start. Now, I'm probably going to layer a couple together just for the sake of fun. Let's listen to what we got here. I kind of like this kick here. This is one I've used in another rhythm track. It's actually a processed version of an EDM starter kit kick, which is actually one of our free packs. I'll leave a link for that in the description. I'm going to layer this with another one though. I like the texture of this sample, but I want some different low end, right? So maybe I'll take the low end from another kick. I'm really liking either this heart or this splat maybe. So what I'm going to do here is just layer these together for now. Turn off the metronome. We're just going to take the click of this kick, I think. Yeah, that sounds good. We're going to actually grab an EQ here. I am just going to use the classic EQ8. Just pass all that low end out. So we're just getting this. Right, boom. Now, I can even shorten it a little bit just to get most of the punch in the beginning of the sample. That actually sounds really nice. Get the right amount of that crunch in there. I'm actually going to try pitching this kick up a bit. I don't know if it's going to sound good. Ooh, yeah. Great. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is group this kick together. Kick group. Now, thank the Lord for groups within groups at this point, because this is going to make it way easier. I'm going to chuck a quick Pro L2 on here with no gain, just to control any transients that may be poking through. And we are going to create yet another kick channel. This is going to have the input set to resampling, and we're just going to resample these kicks together. Now, before I commit, I'm just going to make sure the balance of this top layer is a bit more nuanced. And check it without it. I think this is just going to add some nice thwack to our sample. Okay, now that we've got that dialed in, let's resample. I'm going to arm this track. Let's do that. Boom. That is our kick sample there. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is, before I commit to that, I am just going to drive the gain like 1 dB just to catch that transient a little more hard. So I'm going to delete that. We're going to redo that. Boom. That is perfect. That is a nice, healthy looking waveform. Let's delete our original group, and this is our new kick sample, right? Really cool. I'm just going to shorten it up there, add a little fade, and consolidate that. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go for an 8-bar section here. I'm going to loop up drop 1A. Again, starting with an 8-bar loop is super helpful. Let's just kind of shorten this at the moment because I've got way too much space on my browser there. And like I said, so normally you just have kick on the 1 and 3 like this, okay? We duplicate that over the whole 8-bar section, right? More or less, we can do some rhythmic changes in a second. But what happens is, right, this second kick here, and I probably will have to change this, it's not so much the same volume. Now, one thing I just noticed is I'm going to select all these samples, turn off warping. We don't need warping on this sample. We're going to bring in our some sort of clap now on the 2 and 4 here, just to make sure that it's getting our decent rhythm in there, right? We want that classic sound. So let's bring in a clap sample. Now, this one's a nice one from our EDM starter kit. I'm going to use it as a basic layer. And I am going to EQ this just a touch to take out some of the lows and boost some of the highs. We're going to again use EQ8 here with a high pass filter and then a high shelf. I've also got my verbs set up here. Sometimes I like to use my drums verb to do this. There we go. That's getting that riddim-y sound now. Right, now I'm going to boost this up just a touch. And let's put this on the 4 as well. Sounding good. I'm going to call this clap 1, but I want a second layer. I want something a little more thick on the 2 and 4 there. I'm going to call this one clap 2, and we're going to bring in yet another clap sample just to thicken it up and make it a bit unique, right? I'm going to pick something from a riddim-y sample pack this time because that's pretty guaranteed to work. Ooh, that could be nice. Big 707. That sounds like a nice option. I'm going to turn this down. And I'm also going to shorten this version a little bit. We want the tail. Yeah, that's great. Honestly, we could go with just that. I'm going to try one more clap layer, just something with a bit more texture, make it a bit more unique. What I also may do is make every 3rd or 4th clap just a little different. This just adds a bit of nice texture to our drums and kind of makes them less generic, to be honest. So let's go ahead here and pull in one more clap. Maybe a snare would be better. Ooh, that could be cool. I think this would be cool to kind of just use the tail from, right? Yeah, that would be good. Let's just get the fades in there, right? Turn down the volume a little bit. And we're going to call this snare tail. Turn it down even further. I'm even going to bring on an EQ again. Boom, with a pretty high times 4, 48 dB per octave high pass. I'm going to pitch this up as well, just because we want a little bit more brightness from it, and pitching it up can do that. And some tightness too, because it shortens the tail a bit. So now let's just compare clap 1. Cool, I like it. It's a bit too bright, so I'm going to bring some low pass on there because I don't want this to be dull and then this one to be super bright. And I am going to turn it down a little bit more too. Cool, I'm going to put that over every second one there. I'm wondering if I want to add in a normal snare as well, just to, again, we want these big chunky snares in Riddim, and sometimes multiple samples can help. Maybe this one. Let's see how it sounds at least. It may be good, it may be terrible. Yeah, without it. Yeah, it just gives it the beginning of the sample a little punch. I am going to, however, use I love the channel EQ sometimes in Ableton, just to get rid of some frequencies really quick. It's got a bit too much high end because we've already got a lot of high end in the other samples. So I'm just going to quickly mix this down, do a little bit of mixing as I go. More emphasizing the low end. Right, this is sounding really, really good. Now, at the moment, I do have a master limiter kind of controlling everything. However, that's a lot of gain reduction to let our master limiter do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all these layers. I'm going to call this clap group. Now, I'm going to use the classic, I think I got it installed. I don't actually. I'm going to use G-Clip. I literally just installed K-Clip on this computer, which actually is, in my opinion, a slightly better free plugin. K-Clip 0, that is. But we'll just use G-Clip for now, and maybe I'll use K-Clip later in the project once I do another take and do another little section in this build. Okay, so we're gonna just clip these all a little bit, just so we don't hear any distortion. I'm gonna solo this and just clip it just before it's a bit too much. The aim here is just to take out a little bit of the transient. And I'm also going to bring up my mastering limiter here so I see that it's not working too hard as I do this. And because everything in Riddim is about gain staging, right, I'm just going to clip it right up to the point where I can see it below the 0 line, right? And I'm going to bring in the kick now. Right. Now, what I am going to do is maybe give the kick on this 2 and 4 like 3 dB less. It could be good. Maybe I'll leave it as it was. You know what? I'm actually going to leave it as it is. Normally, I would bring it down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go down 1.5. Just to make it a little more headroom, give it a little more headroom for the claps. Yeah, that's perfect. It's a very subtle detail, but it makes a big difference in your mix because otherwise that kick and clap together maybe get a little too clipped when we do some further processing. All right, that's sounding really good. Now, I am going to leave the pattern pretty simple, and this is the power of Riddim, is simple rhythms in the drums allow for more variation and stuff in the basses. So you don't want to do a crazy amount rhythmically. We may come and add a few double kicks, a few extra claps and percussions later. And then what I am going to do is just add in a hat as well on the offbeat predominantly as our final sort of main hit. Now, sometimes you may even pull this out in certain sections, so we might not commit to it the whole time. Let's see what we've got here in our hat samples. Maybe we'll try this one on the offbeat. Turn it down quite considerably. Let's duplicate this over the whole track. We might layer in some extra hats too. I'm gonna bring up the clap group 1 dB here. I'm gonna layer in a second hat as well. I'm gonna call this hat 2, just to give it a little more punch. Yeah, this one will be good. This is from our EDM starter kit as well. Just a simple kind of trappy hat, right? Yeah, without that. I want to mix it so it's just under the punch of the kick and clap, right? That feels really good to me. Now, I may bring in sort of another loop later down the track, but honestly, we're going to leave the claps there for now. What I am going to do is for now, I'm going to chuck on another Pro L2. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep it stock. I'm going to use a limiter. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to use G clip again. Again, I probably will swap this for K clip and dial it in more nuance in a second. But this is just going to control any extra clipping that's necessary. Again, a little bit of clipping at each stage in rhythm is going to help you get your loudness by the end of the track to a really solid level. I'm going to probably bring that back down a little bit now on the clap group. In fact, I'm going to bring up the kick by a little bit too, 0.5. 0.3. Now, I may add some quick reverb on the hats group as well. Let me just send this to my drums verb. I'm wondering if I should add my reverb on the clap group on the group level or on the individual level. Gonna do it on the group level. Cool. And then what some people do is they'll put one hat on the kick and snare as well. Yeah, and we're going to do this a little quieter, probably down at 3 dB or 4 dB or 5 dB. Maybe even quieter. We're going to do 9. And we're just going to do it on the second layer here because I don't really need that bigger, chunkier hat to kind of come through, if that makes sense. Yep. All right, now let's listen to that. I'm wondering if this could be even quieter. Yeah, maybe it could be just a little bit. Duplicate that across. We're going down to -11 now. These little mixing nuances do matter at the beginning, by the way, so that's why I'm spending so much time getting this right from the beginning, saving myself less headaches down the production process route, right? Yep. All right, that is sounding honestly really good. Let's leave it at that, and we're going to start dialing in some basses. We're going to get some vibe going with those, find a few presets or sounders I've created, maybe make some from scratch, and go from there. All right, cheeky tea break, and we're going to do some bass work. Now, I'm thinking how I'm going to start this, and there are really a number of ways you can start this. Is with a preset, you can start with a serum patch and make your own sound. You can start with a sample and add some post-processing. There's hundreds of different ways. What I'm going to do in this case is actually start with a sample, and we're going to transform it. So I'm just going to bring in a new one here, call it bass. I like this light green, so I'm going to start there. Let's see what bass sounds I got here already. This one's actually from our EDM starter kit as well. What I may do is just pull in the sample and chop it up just a little bit to get some cool sounds from it. I'm going to start it here. Oh, this is already sounding sick. I'm going to use complex and pitch it down the octave as well. Oh, that's gritty. Maybe I'll use complex pro. Oh, come on. Yeah, maybe I will also adjust the timing of the sample. And I'm going to duplicate this over. And then maybe use the second half of the sample or something like that here. We're going to change the start point. Maybe what I'll do as well is I'll chop this one up here, kind of crossfade them and make this one pitched up a semitone. And then I'll copy this one over. And then we'll fade that, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I'm even thinking what I'm going to do here is whatever I end up doing to this sound, I'm just going to have this kind of loop over again. And I'm going to add a bit of fades to it. Yeah, cool. Okay. And I'm going to chop each of these as well like that. So we're going to fade that a bit, fade that a bit. Fade that a bit there, kind of get some nice work on that. Maybe I'll also do the same thing here. Instead of the crossfade, I'm just going to add some fades. And then I'm going to fade this one up. Well, maybe we'll just remove that for a second. Get this. Yeah, that's cool. Get that there, get that back to its original length. This one can be a little longer, maybe. Nice. Yeah, and then I'm going to copy paste this one over and over and over. Bit of a better fade balance there. Over all the way to the beginning of drop 1A. Yeah, I'm already hearing some cool stuff. Okay. That is sounding absolutely epic. I'm going to add some post-processing here, though, because I think we want something a little different than just the sound as it is. So I'm going to add a few things. First thing I'm going to use is the new Raw plugin in Ableton, which I think is going to be really fun for some cool distortion. Oof, that's cool. Let's try a few of these other random modes. Oof, that's sick. Maybe not. Oh, that's sick. Use this feedback mode as well to get that classic riddim-y effect. Oh yeah, this is gonna come across really good. OTT afterwards. This is awesome. I'm already like stoked with how this is turning out. I'm gonna keep playing around with the distortion until I just get something tasteful. Oof, that's different. Oh, that noise is cool. Cool, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna add a auto filter with quite a fast attack and release on the envelope. Ooh, just to add that like movement with the filter. I think I'm gonna do a low pass. Turn down the amount of distortion noise. Bring the dry wet back a bit. Bring the reso and the envelope up. Nice, this is already sounding sick. We are going to loop this up just for the 4 bars for now. May make a few changes. I'm bringing the width down on the sound because the auto filter seems to be sort of adjusting on the left and right a little different. So maybe I'll bring the width to like 50. And then I've got my stereo bus set up here to add a bit of stereo image manually. So I may bring that in a more controlled way here. Cool. And then just to make this a little more different, what I'm going to do is actually from my plugins, I'm going to bring in Serum Effects onto just before, maybe before the filter potentially. We may play around with the signal chain a bit. I'm actually going to load up a RIDDIM preset here just to see if the effects chain from one of these RIDDIM presets actually makes this sound cool. So let's try. Now I am going to try turning on Note Latch to add the movement. Okay, I'm going to actually put it on after the distortion. Go back a bit. Ooh, that's cool. This one just sounds nice and reliable. Okay, I'm probably just going to honestly leave it there for now. I think that's pretty good. I think it was, which one was it that was sounded good? I think it was in the middle here. Was it this one? For some reason this is not working at all. My computer's doing weird stuff. This one, this is the one. Now I'm going to add a bit of bass verb to this. Tone it up a bit. And then I'm going to every so often introduce a second bass. We're just going to use a preset from this from Serum. Let's load up a preset here. And we're going to go from Splice, my RIDDIM folder. Let's see what we got. Yeah, and we're going to go, because this was like B originally, let's just look at the pitch. Let's bring on a tuner to see what we're up with. Let's play this section. It's not really picking it up. Let's just play it on a note here. We'll just put in a random note here, to be honest. We don't even need to worry too much about music theory. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's sick. Add a bit of stereo on that. And let's just change this sound up a little bit. Make it our own, like even just changing the wavetable. that FM oscillator is cool. That's cool. Change this oscillator. Yep, sick. That's enough to make it our own. Cool, let's leave that in there. Little gap at the end of the note here. Let's bring that in there. Yeah, that's cool. And we may use a different sound here just for something a little more interesting. We just want to see what we come up with. Let's start from a preset again here, just for the sake of time. Let's try something else. Something like this could be cool. You know, what if we just layer these up together? I'm going to high pass all of this stuff with an EQ. We are going to add a separate sub anyway, so I'm not too fast. Remove the sub from this. Like this. I'm going to bring up the mixer here and just play around with the delay as well on the mixer. So we'll go. Nah, it sounds too messy. Let's just bring it back here. This is why you always need to try things, because you figure out whether they are good or not. And in this case, no. I'm going to go down lower. Yeah, cool. So let's see what we got now. I'm going to boost the highs on this sound. Yeah, that's sounding good. Cool. And then while we're at it, we are now going to add in our own separate sub. Now, for this track, I'm thinking I'll do it with Serum. Sometimes you can use a MIDI sample of like an 808. But yeah, I want to start with Serum. Now, I've got a few racks here pre-made that I just have solid sub sounds from. I'm just going to put one in basically, and we'll see how we go. What note we're in, what key we're in, we actually don't know yet. This sample's been so manipulated. We have to just figure it out. So let's draw in one of these, or drop in one of these racks here. Let's go sub 2, for example. Let's go up the octave just to find out the note. We're in D sharp minor. Down the octave to D1. Cool. That's a good sub. I might try a different one. I might use Serum instead of Wavetable if I can. Yeah. Yeah, let's layer that a bit quieter. And we may just try, I think that's good for now. Yeah. We may then go into Serum, and what I've got here is just a simple sine sub with some noise going through a little bit of tube distortion, boosting the lows and tapering off the tops of the filter. That's literally the sound. There's nothing else. We can boost the amount of noise if we want to. But really the magic is this one quarter note LFO, which controls the sort of feel of the sound. I kind of want to match the envelope roughly of this main bass. Let's listen to those together, solo those together. bit more on the attack. Bit longer release. Try that. Yeah, maybe we move it out for these ones here. Paste the new pattern there. And then what I'm gonna do is, because I know there's like sort of a 2 semitone pitch wheel sort of thing, I'm gonna go into the envelopes on here. We're gonna go to the MIDI control pitch bend. I'm gonna go out of this. And because I know it's 2 semitones on the thing, I'm gonna go on the serum, I'm gonna do this. So maybe more like this. Edit that down back to 0. I'm gonna add a little bit of a sort of curve to it. Yeah, that's what we need. Boom. Yeah, and then this one, knowing we're in D sharp, we can use D sharp, or maybe we can go down to C sharp as like a lead in note. Bring this to fill up. Now let's copy this over for a bit. And then here what I'm going to do is take out the sub, and we're going to use a different sound here. Maybe what we'll do actually is we'll take this sound, use a slightly different variation of it, and we're going to, yeah, just do something a little different in terms of processing. We're going to do maybe a different wavetable. This can go up the octave. Different wavetable here. Different one here again. Let's not do a PWM. Let's do something like... And I'm going to move the wavetable this way. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Maybe it's not different enough. Maybe we need to change this up. Oh, yeah, that's the one. Just something a little different, right? I'm going to call this fill growl 1. I'm going to call this fill growl 2. We're going to call this second fill. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this a little bit to make it a little less intense. Maybe not use as much distortion or heavy stuff. Maybe change the cutoff. Yep, that's cool. Change this one. Yeah, that's cool. That's how you get some sick stuff just from manipulating a preset, right? Gonna bring some stereo on that as well. Gonna bring this up a bit more in volume. And then we could probably do like in Serum, here I'm gonna do like a +12 on the pitch bend. And then I'm gonna do also a bit of modulation on the rate here. And so we're gonna switch that just for a moment. If I turn on automation mode, we're gonna switch that from here to like 1/4. And then we're going to go back down to where we were, right? Yeah. And we're also then going to go into the envelopes on the MIDI control pitch bend, and we're going to do like a octave up sort of effect. Oof. Oh, that is freaking awesome. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this bass sound on the 1, mute this for the sec. We're going to go up 2 semitones to the root. We're going to go here, make sure it starts again. This needs way more OTT. Probably earlier in the signal chain, actually before the raw, because that's adding a lot of stuff. That's bringing up a lot of that tail we don't want. Bring this down here, actually. I'm actually going to bring some distortion onto this fill just to make the texture a little similar to what it is in the rest of the track. So we'll bring raw on like that. And I'm actually going to add some erosion to bring some noise in before this distortion too. Width. Yeah, nice. Just dirties it up a bit. Now, what I'm going to do is listen to my stereo response on all my basses just to make them a little more consistent. I'm going to add a utility on the group, go to mid-side mode, and listen to just the sides. Now, I'm concerned this is a little overextended on the stereo still. And this one has hardly any, right? Bring the stereo on there. I'm going to go back down on the width. I'm going to ease back some of these effects, I think, here. Like, for example, yeah. Yeah, that hyperdimension was being too much. Okay, cool. Now that I got that in, I just need to taper off some of the highs on this sound and boost them more here. Yeah, this is really coming together now. And then this needs to be louder. I'm going to ease back the feedback here. Yeah. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little fun pitch down thing. We're going to go down -12. We're going to go into the clip envelopes, and we're going to do like a nice MIDI control pitch bend down like this. Something like this. Cool. Now that we've got some sick bass sounds in here, we can start to vary some of the drums up just to sort of complement them. So for example, let's just listen through here. Maybe on the first kick, before the first clap, I don't want any hats. Or maybe just the first one and not this one. Here I'm imagining a sort of a second kick, just to vary it up. And here I'm gonna do like a second clap, like. And then maybe like another kick here. Maybe like, not the double kick. Yeah, this is sounding good. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Okay, I think we can look at now potentially just adding in a few effects and other details to make this drop just that little bit more interesting. You know, variation, modulation, stuff like that. So let's see what we can do here, because I think our main pattern's pretty good. So for example, I might get my like reverb send here and sort of boost it up for just this note. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe even more. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to get a little reverse kick, I think, into this kick here. Taper off that. Get it right dialed in there. Fade it out a little bit. Yeah, that is brilliant. That's sounding good. I'm going to bring on a new white. We'll go for effects. I'm going to bring in like a crash sort of sound just halfway through the drop to add a bit of tension building. See if I got a crash here. That's not how you spell crash. Maybe this one's cool. Bit quieter. Maybe if there's a cymbal or something else. Nah, I think that maybe is good. Just add a bunch of reverb to it on the bass verb. I may as well just use the same one as the other bass sounds. What I am going to do to make this sample my own, though, is I'm going to... there's this great rack I think I created a while ago. Where is it? I think it's in my audio effects racks. Riddim hats. Let's try adding this. Oof. Yeah, that just adds a sick sort of shifted effect. Just an EQ cutting out the lows, a bit of shifter to add this grittiness on frequency shifter mode, and some phaser flanger. And to really space it out, I'm just going to add a bit of like, I think 1 half note delay. Yeah. Yeah, this is sounding good. A little effect there. I also like to add, like, in terms of percussion, there's like a zap sound. I think it's... Where is it? It's Arab music. That's all I remember. Yeah. Arab. Where is it? It's like... It's like a zap. That's all I know. It's called like a zap. You probably could find one. That's not how you spell it. Let's see if I can find it. Zap. This sort of sound. Yeah, this sound. Okay, let's see if I can bring it into the drums group maybe. Let's see where we can put it. Maybe we can do it. Boom, boom, chunka. Not quite. Yeah, maybe this one's a bit more in the right length, if that makes sense. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's cool. All right. Copy it over here to the second one. You know what? I'm going to move this to the clap, this crash. Just I feel like it'd be a nicer touch. Yeah. Okay, I do think the second part of this section, like here, definitely something needs to happen in terms of like this main sound needs like a layer or something. Whether it's just like doing some sort of like weird frequency shifting stuff, I feel like we need to do something to make it just a little different. So let's try shifter again. I'm gonna bring it on just before stereo effects. Oh yeah, okay. Man, some of this stuff is crazy. Okay, turn this down. Go to automation mode. Turn off my stupid MIDI keyboard. Where's the window? Yeah. High pass the crap out of this one. Yeah. Okay, that is cool. Bass effects. And I'm going to take this one, just do like a cool little double time thing. Something like, oh, geez, something like this. And make sure we aren't messing with the... Why are we not hearing that? For some reason. Maybe it's the stereo effects. Warping. We want complex. I wonder if I can do the same with this sound or if it will sound too kind of weird. Let's consolidate that. Sorry about those sort of strange artifacts going on. Let's complex it. Let's halve it. There we go. Cool. What I'm going to then do is take the main bass sound there, add a ton of reverb to it. Cool. We're going to chuck this on a new channel, bass reverse, and we're going to do a little sort of reverse thing for a sec. Let's just chuck arming and resampling on this new one. Record that. If I arm it, try that again. Cool. So what I'm going to do is sort of take just the tail of it, reverse it, remove this. We're just going to have like sort of a nice reverse tail, I suppose. And I'm going to undo this crazy reverb there. That's going to be a cool lead in, I reckon. That sound is going to get really annoying. I'm just going to chuck a gate on here really quick. The same gate I'm going to chuck on the bass effects after the raw. Do you know what I'm going to do though? Boom, I've got a sick idea. I'm going to call this intro ambience. I'm going to resample the tail of these sounds, right? Turn off the loop for a sec. Oof. Now I've got some nice intro ambience I can use. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to add some reverb. That is awesome. I'm going to be using that in the track somewhere. All right, let's loop this back up. While I think of it, I'm going to EQ this a little more. Take out some of these mids. Just make it a little less tubby sounding. Add a bit more of the upper mids. Add some highs here. Maybe like thin out a certain frequency around here. Man, this EQ needs to be tamed on this one. There we go. Wondering if I could pitch this all up an octave for fun. Here I'm just going to do like a quick little double hat sort of thing. I'm just going to go narrow grid. So like this. Maybe like this. Yeah, because why not? Just add a little bit of variation in the drums. Okay, I meant to turn those gates back on now, wasn't I? Boom, gate 1, boom, gate 2. Cool. What I'm going to do here is maybe I'll pitch the sub up as well. Oh, we don't have the pitch bend on these ones. Darn it. Okay, we definitely need that. So what we'll do here is we'll put this one. We need the pitch bend. Definitely can't get away with that. And then here, I'll go to the envelopes, copy the pitch bend automation at least, and go here. Although that being said, I don't think we're going to go up the octave. I'm going to add a little sweep effects here as well. We're going to go into our effects. I'm going to go effects. Maybe, I think there's like a cashmere sample I always use. Short. Maybe I'll just like pick the end of this like long sweep. I'm going to unwarp it. And we'll just kind of go here for this last sample, turn this way down. There we go, boom. Okay, I think this is sounding pretty good. What I'm now going to do is go to drop 1B. We're going to start to flesh out the drop. So what I'm going to do is start by just duplicating the drums over. Now, I like these drums. What I am thinking of doing, though, is actually for the first drop, turning off hat 1 here and just kind of having sort of basically the hat on the 1 and 3, sort of where the kick and clap are. Just simple pattern. Maybe I'll keep that little rhythmic version in there just because I want to say that offbeat hat for the second drop and make this kind of more simple and stripped back. And maybe I'll start up the offbeat hat here just before as like sort of a little fill thing. That could be cool as like a sort of thing just to make it different. Let's copy that over here properly. We may add a little fill here in a second to transition it. In terms of this stuff though, we're just going to copy over everything we've done from drop 1A. I'm going to add a little sort of something different. Just something fun. Maybe like this. Maybe no clap here even, just for something different. Maybe not every kick, just something like this. Something like this. I'm gonna automate the amount of send here, maybe. Maybe we'll do the third one off. I'm gonna add a new frequency shifter to this to add a sort of cool pitch effect. Right at the end on frequency shift mode, we're going to go up on the amount of shift here. We're going to mute this. Maybe turn the bass off actually completely. Put this here. And I'm going to put the clap by itself here. With the kick, with the quieter kick, I would say. Make sure we have the louder kick there. Put 2 hats there. Gonna copy this over, but we are gonna go Yeah, here, and what I'm going to do is go back to this LFO rate automation. Here, I'm actually going to slow it down. Maybe even slower. Gonna go up on the drums. I am gonna still duplicate this bass too. I still think there's something here. I think there's something here we haven't quite cracked in terms of the second bass layer. So I'm gonna delete it for the fill here. Something needs to happen here. I'm not sure what it is yet, whether it's just some static sort of delete all this shifting. Maybe this. Ooh. Maybe if I do something with an envelope and a filter after the shifting. Maybe a bandpass. Ooh. Put this before the OTT maybe. And if I put maybe an envelope follower on the course pitch just for the heck of it. Oh, yeah. Maybe if I do this on the shifter. Oof. Ooh. Boom. What if I switch it up completely? That's cool. Okay. Okay. We're getting somewhere with this. I feel like it's just... What if I actually... Oh, I think I've got it. I think I've finally cracked it. Boom. We're going to delete this. This version is going to be gone. And then this one will just kind of be more subdued. Maybe even with an auto filter at the end as well. Maybe no. What if we just put this in over the top? Boom. Okay, this is getting somewhere. I'm just going to bring up the mixer here though, because the delay on this one is a bit low. Like it needs to be faster. Okay. Boom. Turn off the mixer. Okay, we just need to fine tune this coarse pitch modulation. So I'm just going to add a bit of movement here. Maybe we'll do something like this. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe like this. I'm gonna add like something else to this effects wise though. Like what if it was some sort of like double ether? Oh man, I love this. Oh yeah, come on. Just bring that dry wet down. And then we're just gonna bring back the utility a little bit on the width. Gonna bring this back up to the original bass. This one can be here. Yeah, that's sick. I think this needs to continue a little longer. I've just realized. Copy that over there. Something like this. Copy all of this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, something like this. So we're going to do this. We're going to take out this. Let me take this one out. Okay, I'm going to reverse this one into this. This is like a nice transition point with that frequency shifter effect, right? I'm going to actually mute this. Reverse kick again, wherever that is. Boom, we're going to copy this over here. Man, this is cool. Yeah, here we go. Bring that right over. Okay, that is pretty much drop 1B done. We're going to make a few refinements as we go. I may add some more sort of background stuff in drop 1B later in the track. But now I'm actually going to turn my attention to the intro and the build, which is a huge part of what we're going to be doing for this track. So we've been working on our drop for most of the track so far. Let's just kind of clean up some of this stuff here. I'm going to call this bass 1B low pass, because that's kind of the lower end of the second half there. This is bass 2. I'm going to call this weird because it's the weird bass. Effects bass, fill grout, second fill. This is the sub. I'm going to color this like a darker green just to emphasize the fact that it is different. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And we've got a few effects in there. I'm going to color these differently. This one I'm going to use in the intro though, right? So this is sort of a... So this one I'm going to use like some of my send verbs, which I've already been doing. I'm going to add some EQ on it though. This is just a great starting point. Sometimes just a cool effect is exactly what you need. All right, EQ, cut out the lows. Cut out the highs a bit. Cool. I am wanting to add sort of a nice D sharp minor sort of pad. That's the key we are in. I should actually just set it up here, to be honest, so we have everything aligning to that. Let's load up a nice preset. Again, I'm going to go in my RIDDIM folder here, sort of find something that's a bit more of a pad type sound, something that's not a bass. Maybe this one here. Oh, that's cool. We're going to go like that. And then every 2 bars, we're going to go down to the sus with that E sharp there. For some reason, that bottom note doesn't want to play. Don't know why that is. That's really weird. Anyway. I'm going to add like a ton of delay to this sound as well, just to really echo it out. Really turn it down. Kind of want to add some Foley in. So there's like a train, I think, sound from our EDM starter kit. Just some Foley. Turn off the warping. Sometimes these textures in the intro can kind of just give you some interest to listen to something. This sound here, I'm still going to turn down even further. I'm going to pitch this version down without warping. Yeah. Nice. That's sounding good. I'm going to put like an impact in here somewhere. This one could be cool. I'm going to put this just on the 11 here. Copy this over. This is coming somewhere. That's the end of that sample, so I'll just duplicate that over there. I'm going to duplicate that over here as well. Bring this down. Maybe in this section here, we have a few more things going on. Let's just kind of, I want like a choir sample though. Something like epic, like a choir. So I'm going to bring in a choir sound. Oh, that could be cool. Maybe that'll layer up nicely with the original pad we have here. Just get the key right. Let's get the sample in key. Oh yeah, come on. This is cool. Whoa, this is cool. Rack I sometimes chuck on just to rhythmify stuff. I'm gonna start that down here though. I'm actually gonna put that as a separate layer too. I want the original choir to still come through. So I'm gonna have one layer where it's like the rhythmified choir that kind of fades in. And then the original without the rhythmify on. Filter that pad down a bit. Close choir. Gonna filter that one out there. Gonna use this crash in the intro. Bring up the volume of everything. I'm gonna loop that again here. Kind of want to chuck like some chorus on this one. Spooky. Call this rhythm choir. We're going to bring in one of the kicks here just to add a bit of impact. Boom. Might be a bit loud, but we'll see. I'm also wanting more of like a cinematic sort of impact, right? So I'm going to call this cinema. See if we can find, if we type in cinema, some sort of impact. Okay, I'm going to go to Splice for this one. Let's go impact. It's just easier sometimes to find the right sound on Splice. That could be cool. Maybe if there's one in my library already. Maybe that's it. Cool. That's a cool one. I'm going to copy that over to my clipboard, chuck that in there. Unwarp it. Maybe I'll turn down the kick here, like -6 or something. And I want there to be like a new lead that comes in here, like we had in the intro. There's like some new synths that come in. So let's bring in a new serum. Getting to see the raw process here. There was a cool lead I did get. I think there's something in here. That's more of a drop lead. Let's see this one. Yeah. I'm gonna lengthen out this envelope. So okay, we're gonna capture that MIDI. This is a cool pattern. I'm feeling it. Boom. There we go. Boom. Okay, we got that looped up. We're going to turn on loop just there. Boom. We're gonna split this clip in two, consolidate them into one. This is gonna be the new start note of bar 5, so it's like a nice flow. We're gonna grab like just this clap, I think, for the build. Yeah, nice. We're actually gonna put it on a different track though. I'm gonna put a new track in here. We're gonna call clap build. So I'm gonna sort of have it coming in here. Boom. What I'm going to do here I'm going to copy this over to the second half of the build. This version, we're going to consolidate all into one sort of pattern. We're going to fade this in over time, like this. I've changed my mind on this rhythm quite. I'm going to start it full at the beginning. We're gonna take the hats from the drop, just the first few, put them in the intro here. Nice. I'm gonna take this reverse sweep we use in the drop. I'm gonna duplicate it, consolidate it, reverse it. Copy this kick over with this hit. Oh, here we go. Here I'm gonna actually fade this out. I'm gonna put this leading into this section actually. Cool. Another thing I'm going to do, just thought of this. This is where the ideas just flow. I'm going to get like an amen break to sort of fade in the intro here. See if we can find an old school one. Like a slower one, not like a drum and bass tempo. This could be cool. Cool. That is the sound we want. Bam. And then we're just going to EQ this with a band pass sort of stuff. Turn on a high, low pass. We're going to modulate this low pass. Maybe we're going to have the fades come in sooner. Lead is too loud. We're also going to, with the lead, I want to add like some supermassive, some huge reverb to it, just for fun. C-beams. low pass. Cool. Bring the hats in at this part of the build again. We'll bring in the offbeat hats halfway through the build. Cool. This is where we get rapid. We're gonna go boom, 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 boom. We'll go. No, we'll go first. Here. Nice. Okay, let's listen to the intro so far. We'll just go from left to right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have a little reverse sweep in of this symbol, just something different. We're just going to loop up the choir here. Yeah, come on. We're going to loop that up. We're going to get some of our complex going on the warping. We're going to go to the clip transposition settings, and we're going to do like a nice sort of octave. Yeah, we'll go up to there. We'll remove all this stuff here, have a little silence gap. We'll have our little bass reverse leading into the drop. That's always good. Actually, we'll go here. That's going to be sick. And we'll have our reverse sweep here, but we will have it kind of coming into this moment. I'm excited for this drop. This is going to be so cool. I think I'm going to include the Amen here. Maybe we'll go here, actually. Warp it properly. Keep that going right up until here. Yeah, cool. I'm going to have this pad go in here. Start this transposition a little more curved down, so it's like more at the original pitch at the beginning. We're going to have this first note of the lead here. Here we're going to do a few automation tricks, bring down the mix over time. We're going to sort of get Redux, I reckon. We'll use Redux in the build and sort of crush the bit rate, I reckon, of this lead as we go, while turning down the volume because we don't want our ears to die. Bring down the sample rate as well. Maybe the rate can come down at a sort of slower rate. Same. This can come down at a faster rate. Volume can still come down at a slower rate, more like this. Yeah, okay, we need some more rises at this point to really mask some of those changes going on. Let's see what we got here. We're going to pull in our 8-bar riser. This is a trusty sample from the EDM starter kits. Like this. Okay, here we need to start to tease the bass, right? So we're going to do that a few ways. Maybe I'm going to use this one. This one's a more subtle version. Okay, what I'm going to do for this section, so I'm just going to take this here. We're going to use this just as the build version. So what we're going to do is here, we're going to turn this way down. We're going to add an EQ on this just to really make it like kind of bandpass sort of feeling. So like this. Chuck a utility on there. So we're kind of coming up like this. Open up this frequency here. Here we're gonna do the whole volume automation thing. And then we're gonna have our first kick clap on the 3 there. Nice, this is really shaping up. All right, let's just take a bit of a backtrack, listen to the intro again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm literally going to have like a little muted section. So this will involve me turning the synth here off so we have no reverb. So it's going to sound like this. That ambience can come through. Now I'm going to basically get my mic out. Let's make sure we're coming in from my Vault 2. I'm going to check on my metronome. We're going to record like a little phrase like, I know you want to hear. Let's do that. All right. Something for fun. It's not super serious, but I know you want to hear. I know you want it. Cool. Kind of lame, but good enough for what we need.
I know you wanna hear.
And we are going to absolutely transform this vocal.
I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna hear.
Cool. I'm going to grab EQ. We're going to boost the tops of this a lot.
I know you want.
We're going to use tons OTT.
I know you wanna hear.
Stereo.
I know you wanna hear.
Bit of saturator.
I know you wanna hear. 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 I know you.
Get some of those tops up.
I know you wanna hear. I know you want.
We're going to add some cool delay effects after this as well.
I know you wanna hear.
Yep.
I know you wanna hear.
Cool. We are going to make sure actually that this also turns off. I just want it to be purely just the vocal for a sec.
I know you wanna hear.
Same with this. We want no sort of leftover effects.
I know you wanna hear.
Yep, that's cool. I think that's sounding good to me. We're gonna maybe.
I know you wanna hear.
Maybe I'm gonna adjust some of this.
I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna hear.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I know you wanna hear.
Maybe I'll adjust this a bit.
Wanna hear. Hear. I know you want. You want.
No.
I know you want.
Maybe I'll go here and just adjust this one.
You wanna hear. I know you wanna. I know you wanna hear.
Just like glitching it up a little bit for fun.
I know you wanna hear.
Maybe I'll do that.
I know you wanna hear.
Yeah, that's cool. Just for fun.
Wanna hear. I know you wanna hear.
Yep.
I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna hear. I know you want.
We could just pitch this one down differently for fun.
You wanna hear. I know you wanna hear.
Yeah.
Hear. I know you wanna hear.
That's cool.
You wanna hear.
Maybe we'll speed this up a little bit.
You wanna hear.
There we go.
I know you wanna hear.
That's cool.
I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna. I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna hear.
And maybe here I'll do something different and we'll just kind of use the same processing. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to record it. This is, what am I going to say? This is the, it's time. It's time now. Okay. It's time now. It's time now. It's time now. It's time now. Okay. It's time now. It's time now. It's time now. It's time now. Boom. It's time now. It's time. It's time. Time now. We're going to go back here for this one. Where is that? Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Out. I'm going to go back for this one too. Now. It's time now. It's time. We're going to stretch this one out a lot because it's a bit like, let's go back to complex warping. Stretch it out because it wasn't really long enough. It's time now. It's time now. Stretch that out even more. It's time now. Time now. It's time now. And we're going to go down the octave or down 5.
It's time now. It's time now.
And we're going to fade that out right at the end there.
It's time now. It's time now.
We're going to put this back on the original channel.
It's time now. It's time now.
There we go. That's great.
It's time now. It's time now. It's time now.
I'm gonna fade this reverse in a little more subtly.
It's time now.
Yeah, that's sick.
I know you wanna hear.
Little reverse fade there.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now.
I want to use this somewhere in the build here.
It's time now.
We're going to get these four here. We're going to sort of start to fade that out at this point. I'm going to also, I think it's the main verb. I'm going to mute the on off just for that moment there, for fun. Cool. Let's just do one final check off of the intro and everything, and then we will go to the second half of the track. Go from here. We will use maybe a bit of that train sound actually in the intro, just for, again, just for fun. Everything's just for fun here, especially today for some reason. Okay, we're just gonna. Sort of. That's sounding good.
I know you wanna hear.
Need a little reverse into this section just for fun. Just for fun. Everything's for fun.
I know you wanna hear.
Again, we'll mute the on off of this. Let's go to automation mode. Draw mode. Let's do that.
I know you wanna hear.
We're also going to do the base verb because there's a bit of stuff going through there during this section. Just making it as clean as possible.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now.
What I am going to do is with a utility at the end of this chain, just have this a little quieter, and I'm talking, we're going to edit that bottom value. We're going to make it like 2 dB quieter. I'm just going to find a few places here to use these sounds. Yeah, this will be cool. Maybe I'll put this one here. I'll put this here. I'm gonna have this like maxed out here. Same on here, and we're gonna put that down by the drop. Yeah, like this. We're also gonna have a bit of a utility. Maybe actually what I'll do is I'll just utility the whole drop group a bit quieter here. Like, there we go.
It's time now.
I'm also going to utility the drums group up until this point too, just by, I'd say 3 dB. It's a bit loud at the moment. Yeah. We need a second riser here, absolutely. I'm just noticing all these things as we go. Let's bring in a second one. Sort of maybe this one. Unwarp it. Maybe we can bring in a third one as well, I think, just to get some interesting textures in the build here. Yeah, this one can come right at the end. This one can go right here. Cut off straight away.
It's time. It's time now. It's time now. It's time now.
Cool. There's one thing I need to add now. It's like a trap snare, or maybe not even a trap snare. Just do you know what? Let's do an acoustic snare roll, because why not?
It's time now.
Yeah. This is gonna be epic, dude. I'm so excited. So we're gonna align some of these transients. So we gotta make sure we have complex, maybe. This is where you have to get the timing right sometimes, because it's not perfect all the time. Then we may have to go. Yeah, and then we're gonna go maybe beat. We'll go back to beats. Oopsies. I'm gonna go back to beats, but we're gonna use the forward only mode on the transients. We're gonna set this to 30 seconds, maybe. While adjusting this. Maybe not. We're just going to use it as an organic roll. We're not even going to do anything. Although we are going to put this on a new channel and not the clap build. And we're going to EQ it differently. Man. There we go. I'm going to bring that gate down. So, okay, we're going to go EQ. We're going to OTT this too. Cool. And then what I'm going to do, just to, this may be a bit stupid. We'll see. I am going to just, with my timing off, add some little moments in here just to emphasize certain notes. Like, I just want to make them a little more transient heavy, basically. And the transient shape, I don't know if it'll pick it up. That's the problem. So I'm just gonna make those a little punchier. This is a manual process, but it can be worth it. And especially because the compressor is going to control the aftermath sort of thing. So let's see how we go. All right, last two. And then we're going to go back down to 0 for this one. Cool. And then we can just grab all those points we made, and we can actually, if we go back to our grid on now, we can actually... That's cool. Stereo. Let's listen to that in context. Cool. Our track's sounding great. We're just going to flesh out the second build, second drop, and the outro. That won't take too long. Give it a final polish, add any details, final mix and master, and then we should be done. Okay, so now that we've completed our intro, build, and the first drop, finishing the rest of the arrangement rather should be pretty straightforward. All we really have to do is copy over parts and make tweaks from there. So I'm actually going to basically copy over the entire drop, or should I say build to drop. So we're just going to literally even just press duplicate. There we go. We're going to see how this sounds with the loop off here. Let's just play this section. There we go. Now, for some reason, our lead isn't coming through. That's probably because of automation that we've added. So let's make sure the speaker is on. That is on. Let's look at the utility. We're going to bring it back up here to 0. So we're going to enter in 0 there as our value. Boom. Now we also played around with the redux on this one. So we're going to go back there and adjust that back up to normal. We also played with the sample rate. So we're going to bring that back up to normal. Now we're going to add a few notes before here just to, like here. So we'll copy over literally just these notes. Just to lead in a bit smoother, right? I'm actually going to take out this fill here just to leave a bit of space for it. This should sound good. And then maybe what I'll do is just to make it a bit smoother is maybe I'll actually have the sample rate sort of come in. And I'll have this note start. Cool. Let's see if we can add some more sweeps of some sort. For example, we may add this intro ambience sound, or maybe even we got this cashmere-izer. Yeah, we're gonna put this here to add a little bit of impact. Maybe I'll put the amen here. There we go.
It's time now.
Yeah, that sounds good as a starting point. I do want to do just something a little different here in the build. I want to, for example, go into the drums group. We're going to have the kick sort of more rapid from the beginning, so it just keeps the flow of the track going. We're going to find our first vocal we used back here. So we actually didn't use this in this build section, but we're going to reuse it a bit here. So pop it here or something like that.
I know you wanna hear. I know you wanna hear.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll pull out all of these elements. We're just going to also mute. Whoop, my mouse is playing up a bit there. We're going to mute all these. Going to mute this here. We're going to mute this here. Just create like a bit of a moment for the vocal. We may do the on-off of this again. We actually probably will. I might just let the first note through there for the first beat. Something like this. See how this sounds so far.
I know you wanna hear.
We have to get the claps out and the hats. Maybe even this clap here.
I know you wanna hear.
Yeah, Maybe I'll take this note out. See how that sounds.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now.
And maybe I'll copy the bass reverse over here a little bit just to kind of anticipate some of the bass energy coming in. Let's see how that sounds.
I know you wanna hear.
And I'll make sure that kick is out here.
I know you wanna hear.
Come on, turn off. Why are we not turning off? There we go.
I know you wanna hear.
And maybe what I'll do is I'll have a little bit of a suck in. If I consolidate this sweep here, do a little shorter version just here leading into this moment.
I know you wanna hear. It's time.
Yeah, that's sounding pretty sick. What I may do.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll put the.
I know you wanna hear.
Maybe 2 beats later.
I know you wanna hear.
Maybe, yeah, I'll actually turn off the bass for as long as it goes on here. We'll bring it in like here.
I know you wanna hear. I know.
Now we will bring this back another 2 beats. I got a cool idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. We're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to we are going to mute these.
I know you wanna hear.
So we're going to go.
I know you wanna hear.
We're going to get this here. And then we're going to get the impact wherever that is. We're just going to do something really epic.
I know you wanna hear.
And what we're going to do is we're going to get this.
I know you wanna hear. I know you want.
We're going to actually turn off our grid. We're just going to get a part of the vocal.
On a hear.
Yep. We're just going to select this and just duplicate it over. Kind of create like a cool glitch effect. All right. We may do it as long as we need to. We'll do it up until the snare, right? Let's just collapse all the tracks for now. so we can see everything. This is just the subtle differences between drop 1 and 2, right?
I know you want.
And then I'm going to do like some sort of, on this, warp it, the snare fill we've got. I'm going to use complex warping. We're going to go to the envelopes, and then we're going to use the clips transposition. We're going to create like sort of a pitch stop, right? Something along the lines of this. So let's hold Alt, add a bit of a curve. Yeah, something like that.
I know you.
Maybe I won't put this here. I'll just delete all that. I'm going to turn off on my grid again now. We'll go back to narrow. And we'll play from here.
Time out. I know you want.
Yeah, that sounds cool. What I may do is just on here, we may have to. We may, yeah. The fades are a bit intense, so we may need to like sort of add a bit of a fade on this and then try that again until we get to the point where we want it to stop. There we go. I think that'll be good. All right.
I know you want.
Cool. I think that sounds pretty good for now. It's sort of unique, but energizing as well.
It's time now. I know you want.
And I am going to do a little reverse into this impact. And we're going to do a little reverse impact as well.
I know you want.
Ooh, that double, that effect there is like an accidental, happy accident. What I do want to do though is for drop 2, we're just going to do something different, right? We're going to take the original bass again. I love always using the original sound because that way we get similar but different textures, right? We're going to pitch this up an octave.
It's time now. I know you want.
Yeah, okay, that's probably fine. I am going to try a texture warp. Maybe tones. Maybe we'll try complex. I think tones was good. Warm texture. Okay, that's sick. Turn it down a little bit. Change the distortion. Turn down the feedback. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're getting something cool. Change up the serum effects maybe to make it a little different. Ooh. Change up this comb filter. Feedback on the phases down. Turn on note latch. Whoa, that's cool.
I know you want.
It's like so close to being there. Ooh. Oh. Okay, here we go. Something's going on here. Maybe we'll high pass it a little more.
I know you want.
Gonna adjust the width on this a little bit. It's a bit wide sounding. Turn off the shifter. Turn down the feedback a little bit. It's a bit too much distortion. I think it's distorting here. Yeah, okay. Maybe a bit of too much resonance. Yeah, this is where you gotta figure this stuff out. Yeah. What if, I'm just thinking one last thing, just if we tried up the octave again, or down 5 semitones now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know you want.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is bass drop 2, 1. We're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna select all the clips. We're gonna go down the octave, maybe. Okay, this is shaping up to be cool. Okay, maybe not down the octave exactly. We might go down 7 semitones again to the original. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, try that.
I know you want.
This one could be a little, like, less high-endy, maybe, and a little...
I know you want.
I'm wondering what if, instead of having all this here, we put this on the low-pass channel? Something like this.
I know you want.
Nah, it doesn't sound good. Yeah, now that's cool. I like this one. I think we'll just keep it at that.
I know you want.
I'm thinking even here, we'll get rid of the weird bass. Then we'll go here. We'll reactivate the 3 here. So 0 that. And then I'm going to basically copy from the build synth. Cool. That's our outro. No clap. Get rid of the clap build. And we want to make sure when we copy over this stuff from that section, we copy over the automation. And we want to do that with the... Oh, we actually did the opposite of what I wanted to do just then. We need to copy over everything, making sure that the automation goes. And then we need to get this vocal, and I'm going to do like a quick resample. We're going to go envelopes. We're going to do clip transposition on complex, and we're going to do like a little pitch down sort of thing, like so.
I know you want it.
And then we'll go impact at the end as the final one.
I know you want it.
Leave the lead muted that whole time. We don't need the delay tail there. Start to filter this out at the end here. Get rid of this kick.
I know you want it.
Maybe I'll get rid of this little reverse here. We don't really need more energy.
I know you want it.
Cool. Let's just double check the arrangement from out of drop 1B up through the build and just see if there's any last things we need to add. Sorry about that.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now. I know you want.
What I want to do actually for drop 2 here is, this is a cool idea, just to leave a bit more space for the new sort of layer. Just reduce this envelope amount through this section here. And then maybe this will sound a little more mellow. Yes. And we can bring a little bit more of that width in, I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not going to high pass this as much. Something like this. Just trying to identify where this distortion is coming from. Is it in serum? Make combs. Flanger. Too much OTT. Oh well, it's part of the sound now. Yeah, right, let's see how that sounds now.
It's time now. I know you want.
Do we need to activate like a filter on this sound or something just to sort of control it a bit more? Maybe. You know what? We need a new filter enabling. Let's enable it just here so this sound actually changes only at the drop. So it's kind of feel like something different's happening, but it's the same sound. And then here it's completely different with that new filter on. Oof. Now that noise is gone.
I know you want.
Do I need to add a bit of erosion here? Just to fix that up now? Digital?
I know you want.
I'm going to remove this layer from this bit. Okay, we need to fix up some of these effects. We need to copy this automation over here. We need to pop this one. Man, my mouse is really not wanting to play ball today. Let's copy this one over here. Turn that layer down.
I know you want.
Did that just all go down the octave or something? Oops. Okay, for some reason, all of this just went down the octave. I don't know why. We didn't change the rate of this fill here, but I kind of like it slower. We'll just leave it as is. Cool. I honestly think we're done. All I want to do is add in one last sort of ride symbol. So if I can find like a symbol here. No, I don't want to remove that to trash. Let's maybe like hat. Let's find like a ride sample. Maybe not like that. See if we can find something in here. No. This one might be a good place to start. Could be the right one. Maybe a bit too noisy. Let's try a DMB one. Probably a bit too much. Might go like symbol. Let's see what we can find here. That one could be cool, even though it's a progressive house one. Sometimes you just need to use samples from other packs and that just works. I want to introduce it in 1B here. Right here. We're gonna go every, like, I think 8th note, is it? Oh no, we're actually gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 every quarter note. Every second one, and make sure these are unwarped, by the way. Every second one we will turn down like 3 dB, so just adding a bit of variation. something like this. Make sure that they are perfectly on time. This last one was a little long there, so we want to make sure that's all fixed up. Let's make this a bit smaller so we have some space. All right, now let's duplicate this over. This will just really bring the energy in the second drop, and I'm going to use this in drop 2 as well. So something like this. Bit quieter than that. Yeah, that just adds that subtle energy. And then what we'll do, we'll copy this over to drop 1B, probably just this section here. Copy it the whole way, more or less, and we'll just mute it at certain parts. Add a bit of reverb to it. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I'm just going to go through, tidy the project up, and give it a final mix and master. All right, so we're just going to tidy up the mix now. We're going to use a bit of sidechain compression, which surprisingly I hadn't added on yet. I don't know how I haven't. I think that's mostly just due to the fact that a lot of the sounds in Riddim have a lot of attack to them, so they kind of move out the way of the kick and snare quite easily. Now, I'm not going to set up a separate sidechain trigger like I normally would here. I'm just going to use the kick because it pretty much always hits on every beat that I would like it to be sidechained. So I'm going to just sidechain from the kick, have my EQ enabled so we get sort of a click going. And by the way, this is on my bass group here. Well, it was meant to be on my bass group. We're going to move it onto my bass group. So we're just going to sidechain all the basses at once. It's fine in Riddim to do this. You don't really need to sidechain individually unless there's a specific reason to. So that's just the click there. You're just hearing a bit of the stereo bus as well. Let's just bring that down. That just sounds a little cleaner now. Especially on those bass fills. We could probably tidy up the release of the sound just a little bit, just to make it a little quicker. Great. Now I'm just going to go through one by one and make sure each element is as good as it could be, starting with the kick. Honestly, I don't think I need to change anything there. I could add a bit of stereo if I wanted to. Maybe I'll just add a touch. Just so it cuts through. Maybe I'll do the same to the clap group. Although, what I will just double check with the clap group is I'll grab a utility and see how wide it is already. You can right click on the width knob, go to side mode. And let's just listen to the stereo bus alongside that. We want to make sure the kick is off there. Yeah, I think the claps sides is pretty comparable to what's going through the kick there, so I don't need to add any more stereo to that. Otherwise, you just overdo it. Hats feel pretty good. Let's just double check the EQ of the clap though. Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me if I put these two together. I think that's solid. Hats. Especially here. Might go the hat down 1 dB. Just to make sure it's sitting kind of a bit under the kick and clap. Ride, let's bring that in. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to grab the sidechain compressor and apply it to the ride because it's a bit transient-y. Yeah. Bam. That's great. Let's just check this clap in the build. I think it could go up. Add a bit of stereo to it. Sounds good. Snare fill. So this snare fill here for some reason just doesn't sound as punchy. I think I might have to switch this back to beats. Boom. Also, I may have to boost up the volume. Just because when it pitches down, it sometimes can lose power. But this one sounds good. That's better. It's going to have a different texture, so that's fine. Okay, let's go with these basses. So starting with... Oh, and before I do that, let's just check the drums group as a whole, actually. Could I add a bit of drums verb on my send? Not really. I think it's fine dry. Usually rhythm stuff's pretty dry. Oh, we got to check this zap. How's that sounding? Miss the zap. We can't miss the zap. Maybe down a dB. Or 2. That's good. Okay, let's check this drums group now. Just a bit of clipping there, that's fine. Check the bass group here. So individual bass sounds. I think the sound design side of things is good. I'm just maybe needing to add a bit of EQ at the end of the chain here for some mixing purposes. I want this to be applying after all the other effects have already been added, so it's very clean sounding. It's not, weakened by any additional processing because it's earlier in the chain. I am thinking of just reducing some of the low mids here. So I'm just going to turn on my headphones and just kind of solo for those. Maybe it's actually the mids here. There's also a little bit of harshness up here in the upper mids. Quite narrow. I'm going to boost the real airy stuff as well. May duck out just a little bit of this stuff. And before. Just the tiniest bit cleaner, but it sounds pretty good to me. Let's go to this next layer in drop 2. Let's see how that sounds. Again, we're going to do an EQ right at the end of the chain here. I think there's a bit too much of this. Maybe a bit too much low mids here. Maybe we need to add some more of the tops. Maybe not so much the tops, maybe like the upper mids. Maybe a bit more of the lows as well. Tiniest bit cleaner.
I know you want.
We'll check the bass pre-drop. Doesn't matter as much here. So with this, we actually need to go back into automation. We need to copy our automation over, but I'm going to actually make it a little more rapid here. I don't need it to be as like early because we've kind of are familiar with the sound.
It's time now.
And you know what? For the heck of it, let's consolidate this all. And we're just going to put a quick, this isn't so much mixing as it is production. So we're going to go here back into the clip. We're going to go and adjust the transposition and turn it into a riser basically for the second drop, for the second build rather. Just, you know, these things are nice to do sometimes. Let's go back over here, boom, something like this, up 12, I reckon, or thereabouts.
It's time now.
That's good. Let's check out this bass 1B low pass. Okay, I think that's fine. Bass 2, weird. We may just need to add a little bit more OTT right at the end to control those really weird dynamics. I'm going to put this right at the end after everything, unlike the other processing. That's a bit better.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now.
I'm just going to go down like 1 dB on the sub. Just the tiniest bit loud. I want to give a bit more headroom for mastering. These growls are sounding good. Honestly, sometimes no processing is the best. And they're just pretty clean sounding. Maybe we need to just like, on this one, grab like the tiniest bit less of the sub. But that's pretty good. Maybe a bit of bass verb on this one. I think we had some bass verb in the build here we just haven't used. I'm going to put that over here.
I know you wanna hear.
Great. I think that's it for basses. All I'm going to do now is on the group, I'm going to use a bit of the, not OTT, but just a bit of multi-band compression before my sidechain, just to tighten up the overall feel of all the basses so that they feel unified. And then we may add a bit of clipping if necessary too. Yeah, that's sounding really good. What I am going to do is just use my new favorite clipper, Clip 0, right after this. I'm just going to see if any clipping helps with the dynamic control. I'm going to link the in and out here and just see how much we need to add. This is just going to make all the basses feel like one unit. Soften it a bit to make it not super harsh. Just wondering if with this bass reverse, no, it doesn't have much low end. It's sounding pretty good. Sweep. This may need a bit of EQ8 just to cut out the lows. Cool, that one sounds good. Maybe add a bit of verb to this. Maybe I'll use the bass verb. Sounds a little cleaner. There we go. Amen break. Just a bit of the mids out. Very subtle though. Bit of stereo.
I know you want it.
See the intro ambience. There we go. Sounds good. Bit of EQ8. Pretty good. Cutting out some of the mids and highs. Bit of extra reverb. And I'm gonna copy the side chain onto the lead. On the pad, on the choir here. Add a bit of reverb on the choir as well. Same on the reverb choir, rhythm choir rather. Bit of stereo on the lead.
I know you wanna hear.
Gonna add more reverb to this. On 2 sends. Bit of stereo.
It's time now.
Just while I think of it, I'm just going to automate the gain down a little bit on this, just while the reverb comes in. Copy over this automation for the bass group into the build here.
I know you want.
I don't know how the freaking transposition on this keeps getting messed around. We'll have to figure it out. Let's go up the octave again. There we go. I think it's an automation or modulation rather. Anyway, I think the mix is pretty good, to be honest. I think really now it's just mastering. So let's go to the master. And I've just got my limiter on here. I'm going to push this a little more. I've got some multi-band comp I normally dial in, so I'm just going to enable this here a little more, control the frequencies across the spectrum before the limiter, give the highs and lows in particular a bit of control, but also the mids. I'm going to add a bit of clipping here as well.
I know you want.
I'm going to bring the vocals down here a little bit. Bit more highs in this layer here. It's just lacking presence and energy. I do think we need a little more volume on here. So I'm going to unlink these and add a bit more outgain on here. Clip it a little less on the master. With these longer growls here, I'm gonna just like give it a little bit of a gap at the end so it's not super intense with that longer note. Maybe not quite that short. Maybe we'll go one more like here. Yeah, that's good. Like here. Gonna mute the sub here at the right at the end. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's call that a day. Let's turn everything off. Or should I say close everything? Listen to the fruits of our labor, and that is a rhythm track. That's it. Let's give it a listen from beginning to end.
I know you wanna hear. It's time now. I know you wanna hear. It's time now. I know you want. I know you wanna hear.
And that's it for this rhythm course. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you can see how a track is now constructed from nothing to a complete full banger. And if you have any questions or any other genres you'd like to see me cover in this series on this channel, drop a comment below. Again, grab the free project down below as well. Join our free community at the same time. You'll get an email invite asking you to do that after you download it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Until next time, guys, happy producing.